What is going on, guys, and welcome to the second step here of the Trackmania Grand League. I'm your host, Luckers Turbo, and guys, I have bad news because Eric is unfortunately not here today, but nonetheless, I'm gonna try to rock this cast. It will be a good one, and yeah, definitely gonna have some fun. So yeah. Also, guys, look at my bed. Look at it. It's done, and it's very, very, yeah, from my point of view, it is pretty good. But yeah, I'm really hyped for this step, since the tracks, the final maps are very hard, and of course on those tracks you are losing your points. So really looking forward to that. And we have some things we're going through right now, or we're gonna go into, but first of all I wanna change the music here to the in-game OST, because I think that one is a little bit more fitting than the other music here. So let's just do this music here. Oh man, glad that those songs are on Spotify. But yeah, some things I wanna go into. First of all, my microphone sounds terrible. Really? Let me actually fix that. I'm not sure what's going on, but I think I need a new cable. It's fine for you, okay. That's interesting, because I had some of those issues in the past. I hope that everything is fine. But if there's any concern, any things you wanna say, just tell me, guys. Just tell me. But Galaxy, I hope maybe just refresh the site or anything like that. But maybe some of the other people here can give me a little bit of a feedback from it. So I hope that everything is fine. But we have some things we are going into. So Eric is unable to cast because he has a terrible migraine, and therefore he just can't focus or can't do anything. Maybe you know it when you have a terrible headache that you can't see light. And that's the case for him, so I will be rocking the cast alone, and hopefully he will get soon to the next, or until the next week definitely. But he is working a lot at the moment, even on the weekends, so he is not able to make it today. Okay, so the first point today on the menu is I want to talk a little bit of some surprises that we were facing in the first step, because we've played one step where we had a lot of point losses, and I want to ask you, chat, what is your opinion about the biggest surprise from last week? Is it Gwen and Jr. not performing well? Is it Peck losing his points? Is it Aurel losing his points? Is it Papu performing that out of his mind? Just wanted to ask you guys in the chat, because I made a kind of top 3, I would say. And the first point that didn't really surprise me too much, since the player field is very stacked, is that Carl Jr. lost points, and also him and Gwen not performing that well. So that was a little bit of a surprise for me. That's why I'm putting that one onto top 3, since I think that the player field in general is pretty stacked. As we can see, Marchen performing very well, Afi performing very well, all the other players, so there is not a real of a disappointment going into this second Trackmania Grand League. And yeah, indeed, Green Slots, I agree with that Gwen has or had super risky lines, since he is one of the more or less inexperienced players, so he doesn't know how to save. That's what he said in one of my casts, like a year ago. He said that, and therefore he's very inexperienced compared to players like Carl Jr. But also Carl Jr. lost his points there on I think map number 4 or 5. No, map number 5 it was. And there Carl Jr. lost all of his points. And also the things that really, evoked my interest is that Pack and Aurel lost 51 and 41 points respectively. So those are some huge point losses. And Pack played so well throughout this whole step that I didn't really see him losing his points on the last map, Switchbridge, which I think is one of the easier maps. And also Aurel being, I think, in last even on this track. So this what I was putting onto my second spot. And the first spot is the Kappa 1 map strategy. He was going into the last map with 2 points. Not sure if he performed really well before that, but he just won it in the end and therefore has gotten himself some valuable points. Yeah, and then also some honorable mentions to Papu's good performance, but I could have seen that one coming. And then also Evon and Afi performing nice. Okay. So if you have any more things that you want to stress out that was a surprise for you, make sure to put it in the chat and we can talk about that, because we still have 30 minutes to go until the step will start. Okay, so the next point that I have on my menu is here. What happened throughout the week. We had some point system debates again. And then also the Twitter clip that I've mentioned. No, I've actually not mentioned that one. But the Twitter clip from Kappa, which has gotten more than 100,000 views. So this is some great exposure for him. He was playing the second last map. And he was in between a round. He's a keyboard player, right? And in between the round, he was switching his input device to a pad and used that to perform a bobsleigh turn. So that was very, very cool. If you were on Twitter on those days, you definitely have seen it. So it's a really cool one. And actually, green slots, to go back to that point, is Spam was really surprising. I wouldn't even say so, because Spam was performing very, very well even in the first step, and he is one of the most experienced players, but he didn't lose his points this time. So maybe that's a surprise for us. But I was kind of expecting that Spam will make it into the top 5. Yeah, so those are like my points from that. But let's actually go and check out the standings here. Because you can see here, or the leader is Papu with 92 points already. So this is a great performance by the Gamers Origin player. Just behind that we have Spam with look at that, with 45 points gap. That is 35 points, pardon me, 35 points gap. Quick maths there, right? Is Spam playing for Team Alliance, of course, and then Scrappy on 3rd position with 41 points. And then, as already mentioned, Kappa with the 1 map strategy, finding himself in 4th position with 22 points. So we have seen a lot of point losses throughout the first step. And Pack is in 9th position, but only, so he has gotten himself 2 more points because he had the fastest lap on the last track that you don't lose. So yeah, it's safe to say that Papu will have an easy time qualifying to the playoff stage already. But also interesting to see that Carl Jr. has only, quote-unquote, 13 points. Okay. So, of course, I have to do everything a little bit from scratch here, but hopefully you guys are not really too worried about that, but I'm trying to give my best here. As we have the map presentation now, because I want to quickly go into the maps here. I wanted to play the OGL yesterday, but unfortunately I was unavailable yesterday, and I didn't really feel of playing the Open Grand League. But yeah, the first map will be Treejump, so this one has been played as the map 4 on the first step, and this time will be a map where you don't lose points. So this will be the opening map, and it is a very it has a very ice-heavy start and some tech turns, and then a reactor boost jump before the identity, where you have to pass a loop then, and then you have to jump between those trees that you just see there on the left side picture. This jump is very, very precise, I can tell you that. And Papu, Aurel, and Gren was the top 3 on on the first step. Then the second map is Sidewave. I would say it's a more easier map, which is more mixed style. Only the ice is very decisive here. And then also the identity, where you have some winding road with different undergrounds that you can also see there. You have dirt and ice there, which gives you a very weird transition, because your car will still have that grip when you go from ice to dirt, because the ice effect is not gone immediately. And this is map number 2. And Papu, Massa, and Peck were the top 3 on the step 1, and it was the third map. So those are the easy maps, right? The easy maps where you don't lose points. And now we will go into the semi-final, or into the semi-final maps, which will be Switchbridge and Halfpipe. I would say that Halfpipe is my favorite map, but of course I'm not a biased caster, so I'm gonna be very objective here. Switchbridge is the map that is for me the fastest, since not a lot of releasing or braking is required. Thus, a mistake will punish you very hard. And also this identity is not too hard, where you just have to switch the sides onto different surfaces. And it was the 6th map on the first step, where Peck has lost his points. Kappa, Afi, and Spam were the top 3. And as the 4th map, we have Halfpipe. Halfpipe, we have a lot of speed checks there, and they can be rather tricky. And I want to focus here on this like dirt jump speed check, where you have to hold your gear just beforehand and have over 220 speed. So this will be a decider. It is not that easy. When you gear down, you cannot make that jump, and you have to go for the safe jump, jumping to the left. Unfortunately, you can't see the jump here, but we will go into the in-game overlay in a timely manner. And also this identity is not too hard, but if you push it too much, you will be punished immediately, because you will lose a lot of speed. Okay, guys, now those maps here, Hoverboard and Starglide. Wow. Do I want to talk about them? No. Because Hoverboard, it will be such a clown fiesta, I can tell it to you. You see the older version here on this picture, because you could directly jump to the right with skipping the actual identity, and thus they have put a wall between the Safeway, which is on the right, the grass part, and the other part. You will just see that when we will go into the actual step. But this map is crazy. It is a mixed style map again, and it has a reactor boost up grass wall, right? Question mark? So I've never seen that one before. And then the identity. Guys, if you can comprehend what I say now, you guys are 5 heads. I just say that. You guys are literal 5 heads. Okay, I'm trying my best to explain you the identity without showing anything, okay? Okay, so you have a no steer before a jump. Yeah? You have a no steer before a jump. Then you jump, fly through a reactor boost up. Then you have a reset block as a different ring after that. And then you get freewheeled. And then you can steer again. And then afterwards you have to fly over small blocks to make it into the multi-laps. So it means that the reactor boost up will push you over those blocks. And thus you will make it into the next round. So whoever understood that without knowing the track, you won the internet there. So this is a very, very hard identity, I would say. And consider that. Those are the final maps. So you will lose 100% of your points with that when you make a mistake. But I would say that there will be a lot of mistakes on this track. And then the last track, it is Starglide, which is a rather techie map with some, yeah, weird transitions. Maybe next time we should use some clips to show the maps, and then I can explain it. I think that's a good idea for the next time. You guys can tell me what you think about that, because when I go over it here, you can't really, yeah, like, understand what I'm saying, right? And the identity on this track is that you have ice blocks with a jump, and you have to turn around your car and perform a 180 and jump through a reactor boost up block again. And there you have to perform a 180-degree turn. So next time maybe I should add some yeah, clips of the identity, because this is of course the hardest part. But yeah, to sum up, I would say that those identities are very hard on those last two tracks, and therefore I think that everyone can make it here. But Eric and me have of course made our suggestions here. Eric went for Papu, Pack, and Cole Jr. So he said that Papu will win again. And then we have Pack both on the second position and Cole Jr. on third. So no idea why Eric listed those predictions. But I said Cole Jr. will win it, then Pack and Spam. So I just think that Cole Jr. has to push it, and he has tried it a little bit more compared towards the last week. He's still, for me, the fastest player around, and also Pack looked very strong in the first step, as well as Spam. So I just went for Spam as a safe guess, but everyone can take it because those identities are just super, super hard. Okay, so guys, let me know, what are your predictions here for the top 3? Really keen to know. Maybe some of you get them right, and you can just quote it here and put it on Twitter or anything like that. So if you get this suggestion right, yeah, maybe some of you can get it right, but I doubt it. I'm doubting it, but you never know. You never know. All right. So I was scratching on the actual format that we had there with the opening maps, the semi-final maps, and then also the final maps. But we have a brief explanation there, which is a video that I'm gonna show you guys now. And but first of all, let's go here into the predictions. It is 0 guessing Carl, Peck, and Gwen. Okay, good guess. And then Frodo is saying Peck will get first, second, and third. And he's a goat. Okay, so Peck will get first, second, and third because he's the greatest of all time. Alright, Frodo, I will mark your words, and I will also mark your words, Lucas. So let's go into the explanation here of the actual formats.
Welcome to a Trackmania Grand League step. Let's zoom in on how a step works. Each step is played under the champion mode, which consists of 6 races taking place on 6 different maps. In each race, the 16 players will start the race at the same time and will execute 6 laps. The player with the best lap time is given 2 extra points for every race. For the first 2 maps, part of the opening phase, players get warmed up and win points according to their position. For maps 3 and 4, things heat up, and the players who finish the race in 9th to 16th place lose half of their points won from the previous maps. Every player still wins points for the maps being played based on their position. For the 2 final maps, the pressure is on and everything is at stake. Players finishing the race in 9th to 16th place lose all the points that they have won so far. In conclusion, step points are fully determined at the end of map 6. And these step points are then added to the global ranking.
Alright, so this was the brief explanation here about an actual Trackmania Grand League step. And as you can see, the crowd is hyping up in the background. We have 15 more minutes until we will start, as players are warming up right now. But let's go and talk a little bit here about the bets that you guys have done. So maybe I'm just gonna put this crowd here a little bit away. So we're just gonna do it like this. I think that's fine. And Papu, Carl, and Aurel, also a good guess here, because I think Aurel played very well. He lost 41 points, if I recall it correctly. So I think Aurel on the second place is a good guess. But yeah, I mean, Papu is now kind of the safe bet. So we never know, we never know. Then Papu, Peck, Gwen, also a good guess here. And yeah, everyone is going with Peck on the second place. But guys, first of all, if you have any questions concerning the format or any other questions, any things you want to add, now it's the time that we can talk about that. And yeah, just gonna go for that. Yeah, look at the bed. Where's Eric? Yeah, thanks, Frodo. It took me 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, everyone is underestimating Papu at this part, since, well, let's say the other way around. I think everyone is underestimating him, but he's putting the most effort into it. So I think that he just puts the most effort into it, and thus is one of the players who has the chance of winning. But I'm not seeing him himself. I'm not seeing him on the podium today, because map 5 and 6 are so random, or like so hard today. So yeah, and hello Effect, hello Patrick, welcome in, guys, and hello to all the other people here. Thanks for choosing my cast. Unfortunately, we're not gonna have an interview with Pack because he wants to be focused. Maybe after the match, when the match went good, but else we're not gonna have something. So let's see. I think we have done everything here. As I've said already, the final, so map 5 and 6 are pretty hard. Hoverboard and Starglide. And let's actually check out here how players are performing on the map called Starglide. So let's go into the game. So let's go here into the game, as we are following Tween right now, because hello? In game? Okay, there we go. Let's see. Peck is currently not playing, so that's why I'm spectating someone else. And I think the quality is better right now as well. Hopefully I'm not dropping any frames, because I had this issue when I was streaming Trackmania 180p that I dropped frames just when the game was coming out. But I think now it should be fine. At least that's what OBS is saying to me. So everything should be good. Okay, okay. So this is map number 6 that players are playing right now. It's called Starglide. And yeah, it's a rather tacky map that I've said before. And this is the identity, which I tried to explain. But for the next step, I will give you some small clips about the identity, what it's about. Because explaining it, okay, it's cool, but you guys certainly didn't understand what the identity was about. So we're just gonna do one lap on each map, and I'm just gonna tell you what the make it or break it on this certain part is. Okay, okay. So Papu warming up. We've seen him making a mistake here on this identity. But guys, make your bets coming. And of course, I'm hoping that Peck will make it and won't lose his points. But everything can happen here on this step, because those maps are really hard. Yeah, and for the people who are wondering why Eric is not here, Eric has unfortunately a terrible migraine, and therefore he's not able to cast with me. So unfortunately, he's not there. So for everyone who had already a migraine or a headache, probably most of you had this, you know that you're very, very, yeah, like sensitive against, or like lightning or light itself is very bad. So you just have to close your eyes and sleep it away. That's how I cope with a headache. And therefore he's not able to cast. So get well soon, Eric. Hopefully it is gone tomorrow. And he will be there next week. Yeah, this also works. Indeed, this also works effect. It is also working here. The go, then space, and then the respective name. So if you want to cheer for Pack, which I hope you will do, you can type in go and then space Pack, and you will see the hearts here that will increase how many hearts or how many votes he has gotten. So maybe we can get him 1 heart. We will see, we will see. So let's see. Go Pack, go Pack. All the Pack supporters. And we have 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, and we can see the fans are here again on the site. It is looking very cool. And this time they are not distracting the players. That players are driving through them. But maybe it will be on other maps like that. Bonk. No, players don't see them, if I recall it correctly. Okay, any other things that I can mention here? Of course, I thought that... I thought that the actual recap and everything will take a little bit longer. But that's not the case. And yeah, we will of course start with Treejump. So the Yap 3 map will be the first map. We will definitely see some YOLO techniques there. Because you can lose points. You cannot lose points on this track. As well as on Sidewave, you are safe. Oh, look at that. Pack has 2 hearts. Come on, let's hype him up here. He has 2 hearts. That's very nice of you guys. Showing Pack some some love here. That's really cool. Let's see how many he can get. We can also see Scrappy here with 1 heart. Carl spamming. Lovely, guys, lovely. Let's see how far he can get. 3, let's go. I also hope that, don't want to be biased here, but I hope that also Aurel will get himself some valuable points in this round. Because he's one of the players I definitely see making it into the playoffs. So yeah, Pack up to 3 hearts here. And yeah, any things you want to add, guys? Any predictions that you have throughout this match? You think, I don't know, Gwen will not perform today, Matt will overperform, Spam will lose his points? Make your guess. And I'm gonna make my guess afterwards, but let's just follow Pack here for the warm-up. Looking like he's taking good lines. Also, this part can be very tricky because you're on freewheel. Forgot to mention that. But Pack did that one pretty well. Also, this identity looks good for Pack. Okay, now we are swapping maps, actually. Now we have this track. Which track is that? It is the track called Treejump. So this will be the first map. And now we're gonna see players warming up on this. So 6 more minutes until we will start. And I hope that Pack is ready. Which maps are gone and which maps are new? So maps 5 and 6 are gone. Well, no, wait a minute. Let me actually think. I have to embrace my head now. So order of maps. So map 1 and 2, Flyback and Eurostep are gone. So the maps will recycle down. So map 1 and 2 are gone. And the order has changed. So Sidewave, that was map 3, is now map 2. Treejump, which was map 4, is now map 1. Then we have Switchbridge, which was map 6, is now map 3. Halfpipe, which was map 5, is now map 4. And then we have the final maps, which will be Hoverboard and Starglide. So it is a little bit different because we have like a 3-map cycle now instead of a 2-map cycle where, like, you know, last time there were like 3 maps coming in and you had just map 1 and 3 being swapped. And now you have like 3 maps that will change every time and they will swap themselves. So it is a bit weird, a bit complicated, but once you get the gist out of it, it is pretty easy. So map 5 and 6 will be map 3 and 4, but swapped next time. And map 3 and 4 will be map 1 and 2. Wait, no. Yeah. Map 5 and 6 will be map 3 and 4, and map 3 and 4 from the first step will be map 1 and 2. Did this make sense? I think so, right? And then map 5 and 6 are the new maps, and they will swap themselves. I hope that has made sense. Hopefully that was not too puzzling for you guys, but let's see what Peck is doing here. Going through the mannequins here. Everyone is cheering for Peck. That's what I like. There we go. Peck at 2 hearts, guys. That is cool. That is really, really cool. Okay. This identity can be so hard because you can lose. If you may have a bad jump here, you can lose your gear beforehand before you have to steer. So this is definitely not a good one there. That is not a good one. So hopefully he won't make a mistake there. But of course it's map 1, which will be played in 3 minutes because it's the pre-match warm-up. And we are currently waiting for the organizers and not for the players to start, because it will start at 8 and not when the players want to. Okay, I thought that Peck had a DC there or anything, but it wasn't the case. Are those name tags new? What name tags do you mean? You mean the font of the name tags? You didn't take a closer look onto them. Yeah, it is a bit weird indeed. Maybe they should figure it out. We were thinking about putting them here, like on the spectator booth. But on the other hand, then they are not in the map, you know? But yeah, indeed, it is pretty weird. And you see, Peck has made a small mistake and therefore had to go for that one here. Yeah. Because I think if the spectators would have been there, you hardly can see them, right? So yeah, that's what I was talking about. One bad gear and you are dead. And this was what happened to Peck in the warm-up. Oh man, guys. So hopefully they lowered some sounds here. Hopefully. So 1 more minute and then we will go live. My side bet for the first map is fasten your seatbelt. It is Evon. I think Evon will win map 1. Guys, make your bets. What do you think? Who will win the first map? Map called Treejump. I think it will be Evon. Because he is one of the players that I really see in the TMGL. And you see countdown 5 more seconds. Let's go. We will go live. Good luck, have fun to all of the players. And we will start now. Let's go with the first map here. It will be Treejump. And let's go. So therefore, welcome in to everyone here who has joined in now. Trackmania Grand League, step 4 of the second season. Trackmania Grand League Fall Edition. And we will go live now with the first track here called Treejump by Softy. So 1 minute and 30 seconds as a warm-up. Unfortunately, I'm alone today because Eric had or has a terrible headache. So I have to rule this cast alone. But I will still make it. So all good, all good. So on this one, we have the opening phase on the first 2 maps. And their players can collect points for their respective placement. And they are not, or they can't lose points. So you can only win points here. And let's follow Pack here for that warm-up. So Papu again with a very dominant warm-up here. And also Tween. So Tween player that definitely disappointed, at least from my side. Because I thought he would perform better. But his first step was pretty weak. So hopefully he can make it a little bit better. But Pack here with a bang of a warm-up as he's in first. Not making a mistake. So I hope that he can transfer that one into the live round as well. But yeah, it's warm-up. So let's see how he's doing this identity. We have to squeeze your car in between there. A short release is required to get yourself the best transition possible. And Pack is doing it pretty well. Look at that. Very greatly done by him. So guys, cheer for Pack here. Go, space, and then Pack. Let's go for it. Let's rise the hearts here because right now we have 0. So let's go. As the warm has ended, and we will go live now with the first map here of the second step. Let's go. Let's follow Pack for the first round as always here. And hopefully he will survive. Opening phase, Treejump. Let's go. So no player made a mistake in the first turn. Who would have thought, actually, right? And yeah, Pack with a conservative start, not risking it too much. Papu going super far inside there, so he's going over into the lead. Scrappy losing it a bit there, so he drops a little bit further behind here. But still, everything is very close. Only the 2 Swiss players by the name of Yannick and Afi are half a second behind. But this can all change here in some seconds. The top 3 is Papu, Carl Jr. and Pack, so greatly done by those 3. But we also have seen Bren lurking his way into the top 5, but gets overtaken by a lot of players here as Massa goes for a very inside line, so he has not a lot of speed to work with, and therefore he will yeah, actually get not overtaken. So this line was actually not that bad from him. Okay, Papu already a 0.4 of a second lead. What is this guy doing? What a performance by Papu here again. First identity, no mistakes. Carl Jr. not releasing, so he's going for the full risk line. And look how he's overtaking Papu here. What a line by Carl Jr. And that's why I put him on the first place here as my bet. So Carl Jr. is risking it here for the biscuit. 0.7 of a... He gained 0.7 towards Papu, who just saved it here. And also Pack has lost some positions here. Drops down to P8 even. Gets overtaken by Aurel and Tween going into the first ice section here again. Carl Jr. and Papu still in P1 and 2. And then we have Kappa and Scrappy behind. And also Afi rounding off the top 5. Oh, Aurel jumping, so not a good line here from him. And also Tween, the Pittsburgh Knights player, is doing a good job. Pack with a mistake here. Oh, that's not good. Gets overtaken by multiple players and drops down to P11. Okay, let's focus here on Riolu, Massa, and Matt, who are more than 3 seconds behind. And also Yannick. So they have dropped a little bit behind here, as we can see here. So maybe they have not put too much practice into those tracks here. So this can definitely happen. But still, everything can be decided here, as no player has dropped majorly behind. But just when I say that, it's Papu. What has happened to him? Papu from second to last position here. So Papu will not get a map win here. And almost making a mistake as well as we can see Riolu and also Matt making a mistake. And Papu with an additional mistake here. So this is definitely not good for him. Oh, as a lot of things are happening here on this second lap. We see that the gaps are extending here. Carl Jr. is well dropping behind. What? Oh man, I'm spectating the wrong persons at the moment. So Carl Jr., Riolu, Papu, and Matt all have made a mistake. And therefore Yannick is currently on P12 because he was not super far ahead beforehand. So Bren and Scrappy, all of a sudden, they used to be P3 and 4 just one lap ago, but now they are occupying P1 and 2. And then we also have Aurel, Afi, Spam, Tween, and Pack in the top 7. Evon, P8, but Pack doing a great job here, holding strong on that 8th position. Bren also lurking here as we see Bren and Scrappy with a 1 second lead. But let's follow Pack here for that identity. Maybe we can see if a player makes a mistake, dropping behind, but no one is making a mistake here out of that top 8, as Massa, just when I say that, and Scrappy dropping behind. So Scrappy is dead here, dropping down from that top 2 placement, as Pack is going for a very conservative line here in this section. So a lot of mistakes in this identity section, which I was kind of expecting. But look at those gaps here. Look at those gaps. But still, we have some survivors here. And Pack is also, yeah, in between them. But still, the gaps are rising on the 4th lap. So we have 3 more laps to go. And 3 more identities to pass before we will see who's the winner here. Very close fight here for that 3rd position. Actually, we have Afi, Spam, and Evon battling out. So my side bet is actually in here. And Bren not with the best ice section, just seemed to be like that. Because on the ice section, you're pretty slow anyway. But Bren has a 1 second lead. Bren is pushing it here. And we can see him, the Kameto core player. Let's see how he's doing this identity. Looking good for him. Yes, he's passing it. Aurel as well. Then we have Afi going for the attack. Spam also making it. Evon just behind. And then also Pack surviving it. So top 6, all of the players are surviving it. And going into the 2nd to last lap. So no, maybe everything is a little bit more in order and not that messy. So we can see a little bit more what is happening when we will just follow Scrappy or Massa, who will battle out here for that 7th position. Aurel, however, has overtaken Bren here. He has probably made an error here in this ice section. So let's follow Bren. Maybe he can make something happen as Aurel is jumping here and has not a lot of speed to work with, as you can see here. Oh, it's getting very, very close. Look at this fight here. Top 6 in between 1 second of each other. So if a player just risking it here, everything can happen. But on the other hand, we see Spam not with the best ice section here. And also Scrappy is overtaking him, and Spam down to P8 actually with that. Loses more than 1.5 seconds with that ice part. So you can see ice is very decisive, and Afi jumping too far to the right. Oh no, and this is a huge error for him as he drops down to P11 with that. So from P3 to P11, not looking good here. And still the fight is going on between Aurel and Bren. Evon still on P3. And yeah, indeed. Oh, Evon with a mistake here. And Massa also clipping the inside. Had to go to jump between the 2 trees. And Bren also with a mistake. So what is happening here? Pack all of a sudden on P2. Just with a very conservative playstyle. Pack is on the 2nd position and looks like to go home with 14 points here as we are approaching the last lap. But now the fight here for that 2nd place between Massa and Pack is going on. Massa with that inside approach, so not a lot of speed for him. Pack has a little bit more speed to work with. Evon also here in this mix, but it looks like he's super far behind. Pack with not a good slide here, so Massa comes a little bit closer here in this section. Only 0.15 of a second between both of them here. Going into the last ice section here. Or maybe there's one more, but only 1 turn. But Pack with more speed here. As we see Massa with a weird approach. So Pack has still some room to breathe. Okay. Last reactor boost jump here in this section. But Pack is not getting it too good. But Massa also with some airtime in this section. The Yap 3 will decide it. Will Aurel take home that 1st place? It's looking good for him as he's jumping very good, as well as Massa. Massa is pushing it here for that 2nd place. And indeed, Massa will overtake him here for that 2nd place. And yes, no, actually, Pack has more speed. And no, Pack is crashing into it because he has risked too much. Pack will fall behind. No, Pack has risked it here for the biscuit and will drop multiple position, and Pack is dead, down to P11. Oh no, Pack has pushed it too much and has lost contact with the ice there. With this last ice section, he could have overtaken Massa here. And what I want to focus here on is Carl Jr. going from P10 or 11 to P3. So great comeback here for him. But unfortunately, it is Pack dropping super far behind here to P11. That is not a good start here for Pack. But still, he's not losing points. Everything is fine. But, hey, 4 points versus safe 12 points. I would have taken the 4 points, I mean. Not, of course. I would have not risked it there in the end. But sometimes, I mean, Pack had a really close fight there with Massa. And so, maybe in the matter of events, he felt like pushing it. So, yeah. Unfortunately, Pack only with 4 points. But this was only the first map, so everything can happen. Because the map's getting harder and harder. So, Massa, Aurel, Massa, and Carl Jr. in the top 3. And the chat has already recognized it. Massa and Carl Jr. both with mistakes. And we could have seen only Aurel not making major mistakes. And the leader, who was the leader for the whole race, was Bren. He has gotten himself 8 points. So a back and forth on this track. And yeah, now we have Sidewave by Link, who is also playing the Open Grand League. He has qualified himself to the top step, so to the top 16 yesterday. And he is a very experienced driver, and I really like that map. I really like it. So I would say it's one of the easier maps where the ice is really the decider again. And it is not that of a hard identity, where we have some winding road in the ending, which is Carl Jr. approaching now with some underground changes. As you can see, we have normal road, then we have ice, and then we go from ice to dirt just in this turn here, and then from the dirt to the ice, into the dirt again, and this is not enough. Go to normal road and then to the ice. So you can see a lot of underground changes here. This identity is not too hard, but if you really push it, you can make it happen. And it was Papu, Massa, and Pack being the top 3 on the first step. So let's follow Pack here for that first lap. Pack with the best start here finds himself in the first position. Matt already quarter of a second behind, as well as Aurel, so maybe he has made a mistake, the winner of the first map. But he can be certainly very happy about that, because it is Matt not getting himself any sort of points because he didn't finish on the first map. But Pack still remaining in the lead, but Papu's attacking him. But what a close fight here going into that first, harder section here. Pack does it really well. Look at that. Pack on into the lead. What a great section. Then we have Gwen and Papu, as well as Carl Jr. behind him. But Pack, what a dominant start for him. And Carl Jr. with a small mistake, as well as Papu. They've touched the outside of the ice, and therefore you slow down. But look at this fight here. Look at that 10 hundredths between the top 5 here. What a close fight. But Pack still remains in that lead. But now the first identity is coming up. Massa, Gwen, and Bren are lurking in the shadow. They're going for aggressive lines, but Pack still with a good section here. But Massa, great line for him. What a great find are we witnessing here, as well as Scrappy going into this fight here. But it is Pack indeed being the first player here, as well as Scrappy, so both are in between of each other. Look at that, 126.314, and then we have a 126.31, wait a minute, and then 31.5 for Pack, so 1,000th of a second in that first lap, tearing Scrappy and Pack apart. So what a great fight here. What a great fight. But it seems that Scrappy's identity was a bit better. But on the other hand, Pack's mid part. So this part here was a bit better from Pack's side. But just when I say that, it's Scrappy coming a bit closer again. 200th of a second between him and Scrappy. But Scrappy with a better ice section. But still nothing has happened. Riolo dropping down to P16 as well as Kappa, Matt, Tween, and Yannick's being more than 3 seconds behind. So he has, they will most likely not have a saying. As we see Massa on P4, Carl Jr. also on P5, and Gwen on P6, all less than 1 second behind. But what a great fight here for that top 3. Scrappy, Peck, and Papu approaching it firstly. And really, really nice fight. Very close again between Peck and Scrappy. And also Papu does a really good identity here. But Peck is still in the lead. Papu is losing it here and gets overtaken here by all the other players. And Peck has also dropped a little bit behind towards P4. Oh, that was not a good identity section here for Peck. And also not for Papu. But we are only on the 3rd lap, so we're not even halfway through. So Peck is doing a great job here, only 1 second behind. So not... I mean, a real surprise here is that Riolo is 25 seconds behind. So maybe he's using this map as a little bit of a... Oh my god, Peck has lost the contact there. You are at the reactor boost down. And that means that the car... What is happening here? Wait, what? Someone has fallen behind? And then there's also Gwen who has dropped behind. What happened there? Just when I want to explain something, everyone is tearing apart here. But Peck has lost the grip there because he just steered too much. And therefore your car will lose the grip, the magnet grip, when you steer too much. But still Peck has recovered well and is again up in that battle for that top 5. Okay, Riolo with a DNF. Not sure what is happening there. Oh, that is not good. And also Yannick's 48 seconds, if not even more behind. Look at that. He is probably dead. Not sure what is wrong with the Edelweiss player, but this is unfortunate to see here. And we can also see Afi falling behind. So it is a messy map too here. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So Afi P11 for him and also slowing down there as well. And also Aurel has dropped behind. So Massa, Carl Jr. and Papu on the top 3 placement. And also Peck and Scrappy on 4th and 5th position. So it seems that Yannick's has lagged out. And his internet died or something like that. So this is not a good thing for him. Okay, Peck with a very aggressive line goes very inside here. As we can see, he goes up into the 4th position. But Massa has accumulated a 1.3 lead already. Papu and Carl Jr. are battling it out for that 2nd position. Close fight here. And also for that 5th position here. We have a close fight between Scrappy, Gren and Spam. Where Gren has dropped a little bit behind. Let's go here with Scrappy going into the 3rd last identity here. Scrappy approaching it really well as Spam goes a little bit for outside. But still looking good for them. Not really gaining or losing something here. As we see Massa just extending his lead and Scrappy going for that overtake. So Scrappy up to P5, but Spam with more speed in the meantime, going for a more outside approach. So looking good for them of going home with some points. But it's looking even better here for Peck. Despite being 3 seconds behind, he is on that 4th position. And Massa really looking strong here on this step. 14 points for him on that first map. Going home with that 2nd place. And also being on 1st position here. And look at that. He has also the fastest lap so far. So Massa can go home here with the perfect score. With 22 points. But also for Papu, Carl Jr. and Peck. It is looking really well. But Massa, just when I say that, he dropped down a little bit. He lost 1 second. So this could spice everything up here. Because Papu, Carl Jr. and Peck are lurking in the shadow here. As we can see. Oh, Papu with a mistake there. Papu has touched. And Peck and Carl Jr. will capitalize from that. Peck now up to P3. And this is exactly what Peck's playing style is about here on that first 2 maps. He's just waiting. He's playing the consistency game and waiting that someone is making a mistake. So Peck on that 3rd position. Great identity here for him. And only 2 seconds between him and Massa. But then we also have Papu lurking here. Great section from both of the players here. But he is not really coming closer towards him. Okay, let's see. Yannick's is back. So he's 11 seconds behind. So he didn't DNF or he didn't disconnect. He was reconnecting. And that is really cool to see. That is really cool to see. So Papu, Scrappy, Aurel, and Spam just behind Pack. And this is the last lap, guys. This is the last lap. So let's focus here on that battle for that third position. Papu with overspeed here, but almost lost it there. So that was a very close section here from Papu. And also Masta is losing it. Masta is losing it, and Cal Jr. will overtake him here. Let's focus on this battle here for that first position. It is neck and neck between both of the players here. Masta versus Cal Jr. 300ths of a second between both of them. This can be really close, but Masta has more speed in this section. Massa has more speed. One more identity to go. And also Pack is coming closer. Pack only 0.7 away. So he can make it happen here. If he's really risking it in the ending, Pack can overtake both of them. But let's follow Pack here. It is neck and neck between Massa and Cal Jr. Cal Jr. with more speed in this identity. And it is Cal Jr. with more speed. It is so close to call. Look at that. Oh my god. Massa still in first. And Cal Jr. lurking, and also Papu with a good section. But it will be Massa winning map 2. Ahead of Cal Jr. and Pack with more speed. Going home with 12 points. Papu in 4th. Scrappy in 5th. Then we have Evon in 6th position. Spam in 7th. Gwen in 8th position. And Bren in 9th. And Treen rounding and concluding up the top 10. But what a great fight here from all of the players here. Massa staying ahead of Cal Jr. Even though Cal Jr. has risked it a lot there in the ending. He has denied it and was going home with 14 points. And yeah, Yannick's with the fastest lap 39 seconds. Okay. 39 seconds for Yannick's. I think that this will be deleted. Yeah, because he had some issues. And it will be, I think Massa had the fastest lap. And therefore he has 36 points. So Riolo DNF'd, not sure what happened to him. But now we have the first map where players can lose points. We have Switchbridge, which is the map where Pack has lost his points on the first step. It was the last map, and it's a map which I can describe in a full speed map. As you can see, you don't have really a section where you really have to drift. You have auto drifts here, then you have long turns where you want to hold your gear, want to do them full speed, and you have only 1 or 2 drifting sections. And then also this identity, which is not that hard. And I hope that Pack will perform here. Because players will lose 50% of their points because we have arrived in the semi-final phase. So maybe now we can see some techniques because Riolo, Matt, and Kappa, and as well as Yannick's have not gotten a lot of points on the first two maps. So I hope that they can catch up with the players. This is a Firestorm map. So we have some speed checks, some jumps here. And of course this identity, which is Pack approaching now. So it seems that Pack is in the zone. Again, a good warm-up for him. So let's go Pack. Go Pack! Come on, let's cheer all for Pack. He can make it happen. He is on a comfortable 5th position here. Tied with 3 other players. So Papu, Scrappy, and Spam. And as well as Pack have 16 points. And also Evon with 18 points on that 4th position. Then Aurel, Cal Jr. and Massa have surpassed that 20 points barrier. But now they can, or they will lose their points if they will be in the bottom 8. Okay, let's go here with the first round. But it's actually a pause of a bit. I thought the pause will be between map 3 and 4. Maybe I have gotten that one wrong. But it seems that we have a pause. Okay. So let's follow Pack here. Because players are warming up. So I think that the identity section is not that hard actually. Isn't it just a small break now? If I recall that one correctly. I think so. I think that... I generally don't think that this is pretty hard. No, it has not been changed. But this identity concern compared to the other identities is pretty easy. Because you just have to clear a transition and not reactor boost, free wheel, no steer, something like that, you know. And this will be map number 5. So map number 5 will be really interesting. Hoverboard. So I had in my mind that there will only be a break after map number 3. But yeah, let's follow Massa here, who's the leader. 34 points for Massa. So great performance here from him so far. And I think it's even 36 points because I mean, it could be that Yannick has driven the fastest lap, but not with 38 seconds. So that was a buck and a half there. Maybe that's why they're doing a pause. This could also be because it was Yannick getting the fastest lap and they have to figure it out. But we will see. We will see why there's a pause. Because now we will resume. And it says, be in the top 8. Are we live already? It seems like that. So hopefully no one went AFK. No one went AFK and we are live with the 3rd map. It is the 2nd step, or the 2nd phase, the semi-final phase. And their players will lose 50% of their points when they are in the bottom 8. So for example, Kappa has a uneven number of points. He has 5 points. And in that case, he will lose 2 points. So not 3 points. We will round to the lower number in that case. Okay, so let's go here with Pack for that first lap. As we see Gwen, Riolu and Scrappy with a very good start. No one making a major mistake there. Only it is Massa not getting himself a lot of speed in this section. Also a very outside approach there for him. And Pack going for the attack here. Oh, we can already see Avon falling a little bit behind on P16. And then also Yannick. Let's see. Yeah, Yannick is a little bit further behind. So let's see. Is someone making a mistake? It's actually Scrappy who has fallen behind. And then we also see Avon who gets overtaken by Yannick here in this section. But other than that, we didn't see a mistake here in that first identity section. Matt also 0.5 behind that 8th position. And then we can see Pag lurking, and going up into that 2nd place, into that 1st place battle with Tween, which didn't perform that well on that first step, but now is on an insane pace. Tween and Gwen both up to P1 and 2, and then we have Pack on that 3rd position, but he has not gotten himself a lot of speed, so Papu and Kappa will overtake him. And then also Afi, who has completely fallen apart on map 1 and 2, unfortunately, and has only gotten himself 10 points. He was on a very good pace, but has made a huge mistake on every map. Is now up here in that battle for that 4th position. Carl Jr., however, is on P16 as well as Scrappy and Massa, so they are more than 4 seconds behind. This is not good for them, and this is definitely a gap that they have to clear. And Massa, Scrappy and Carl Jr., they have gathered a lot of points. So it's not that they have been like going into that map with only 5 points. And also Bren, P16 for him. So a lot of mistakes have happened here. So not that good. So the players who have somehow survived are Kappa, Spam, Papu, Pack. Oh no. Tween dropping down as well. And then Gwen. And also so many things are happening here. Tween is now on last position. From 2nd or 1st to last now in a blink of an eye. But some transitional parts can really mess you over here. And then you just have to go for that respawn. Let's go here for that battle for 4th position. Or for the top 4. Gwen, Papu, Spam, and then we have Pack. So Papu again with a good performance, but also Gwen dominating here. And also Riolo dropping behind here to P16. So not sure what happened to the Nordavind player. And Matt, on the other hand, not having the best start, but making the mistake here. And that would have gone for the respawn because now he has no speed to work with. He gets overtaken by a lot of people here. So the spectator's curse is kicking in here. So Matt dropping tremendously behind to P15. Oh no. That was not good. So top 4 battle is still on. Gwen still is in the lead. Pack, Papu and Spam all with a very solid lap. As we can see here, Carl Jr., Spam and Gwen have set the fastest lap time. So Spam coming closer towards Pack and Papu with that. Carl Jr. 4 seconds behind. Maybe he can make something happen, but we will focus here on Pack, of course. We will focus on this MnM player here. Go Pack, of course. Looking good for him, but also for Spam here. Gathers himself a lot of speed in this section. Papu has gotten it a little bit better than Papu. And also then Spam. So really close fight here between them. Oh, but Papu making a small mistake, had to release. And thus it is Spam and Pack now going into that fight for that second place. What a close fight here for that second position as we go into that third identity now. Pack not with a smooth landing there. And Papu did it really good. So Papu is claiming the second place yet again here. And going into the fourth lap. And to the fifth lap, I mean, I'm sorry. I just misread there. It is Papu in second position. Pack Spam behind. And then there's a gap of 1 second between Kappa and Spam. And then we have Avon being on P6. Aurel and Yannick's on 7th and 8th position. And then there's a 3-second gap between Massa, Scrappy and Cole Jr. and the actual 8th position. So Massa and all of the named players here who are on the bottom 8 are losing their points, half of their points. And Massa has 34 points on stake, and he really needs to rely on a mistake. He can't see his opponent there, but it is not unlikely, but it will be lucky for him if he will keep his points and not lose any of those collected points that he has accumulated so far. Brand still holding strong to that first place, as we see Papu still on that second place, and then Pack and Spam on that battle for that third position, but Spam not with the best identity, and Papu with a mistake. Papu is dead, and he will most likely drop out here of that top 8. Look at that, even Aurel is overtaking him here, and now we have a battle and a half. He is 6 seconds behind, and all of a sudden it's Massa only 0.38 behind, and we have to follow this battle here. It is a close battle here for that 8th position. Massa can make it happen, as we can see Scrappy and Papu being in right now. Despite Papu making that mistake, he's still finding himself in that 8th position. So we can see 1 second between second and third position, and also between first and second. So I'm not gonna go into that battle here. Let's see what Massa is doing, the Berlin International Gaming player here. Can he make it happen? Can he rely on a mistake? Position seemed to be set in stone. Maybe this battle here for that 7th position. Oh, but Aurel! No way! Aurel dropping from P6 to P11 even. And this means that Massa is taking his points. Oh no. So Massa is taking, will take his points, or will secure them, and Aurel will lose 12 points. But now we have one more identity. Massa has just to survive that here, and it's looking very good. Let's follow Spam here, as we see Pack being on 2nd position, Spam on 3rd, then we have Kappa on 4th, Yannick's on 5th, Papu on 6th, Scrappy on 7th, and then Massa keeping his points just ahead of Carl Jr. 300ths of a second. Are you kidding me? Carl Jr. losing 13 points here in the ending. 300ths of a second between both of them. What a fight. I was not expecting that. Carl Jr. pushing it out of nowhere again. But it is Massa keeping his points. And Carl Jr. minus 13. Wow, how has he come that closer, actually? I didn't say that. What an effort there by Carl Jr. But Carl Jr. losing points again. And it is still Massa being in the lead. 40 points for him. Then Gwen on 2nd position and Pack on 3rd. Wow. 0.6 of a comeback from Carl Jr. Greatly done by him, but it wasn't quite enough, as we have the second map here of the semi-final phase, which is Halfpipe. So we have a lot of speed checks here on this track. They can be somehow tricky, but I want to focus here on this one speed check with the 180-degree dirt turn, which is kind of in the middle to end part of this track. Not this one here, but there you have to hold your gear and jump into a slope, and you have to hold your gear before that, because if you don't do it, you will not make that jump. So let's follow Peck how he's doing it. Again, a very good warm-up here for the MnM player. So this is the turn that I was speaking of. Now, this left-hander, you have to hold your gear here, and you can see the speedometer here. You need to be faster than 220. Peck does it really good, and if you're not faster than that, you're not able to clear that jump. And then also this part here, this left-hander, where you can perform a no-slide. Peck is not doing it. Riolo's going for it, and you can see it's faster. And then, of course, the identity is the 3 half-pipe jumps that you can see here. 1. And there's number 2 and number 3. And number 4 is a bit different because it is a little bit more elevated. And there you go into the multi-lap. So this is the map. That's the semi-final phase. So still you lose 50% of your points. And it is now more cruel because look at the points. Massa is at 40 points. Gwen at 30 points. And then we have Peck. Gwen at 33 points. And then Peck at 30 points. So let's follow Peck here for the first round as always. So Massa first. Hopefully he can hold that. Because from the first season we have seen Massa making a lot of mistakes. And was not able to make it into the top 8 or to secure all of his points. But I hope that he's doing it as we see Evon with a DNF. Evon with a DNF. That is not good. And also Yannick's already a little bit further behind. So not sure what is wrong with Evon here. He had some difficulties in the first season as well. But it seems that he's still playing. So just we don't see him. So I think he has only a camera bug. So because you can see in a P14. So I hope that he is fine. So going into that first speech tag, it is Massa actually falling a little bit behind here. Actually, no, it was Spam falling behind. I thought it was Massa because of that name tag. But yeah, you can see here, Spam is also running a kind of... Yeah, I was just wrong with that, so don't worry about that. Okay, so Evon's still in the mix. As you can see here, he's still being showed on the live feeds, but we just can't see him as it seems. And it is Yannick's being on P16 and then Evon on P15 as Riolo gets contact to the grass very early, but Riolo only with 2 points, so this is not looking good for him. And then we have Peck here on P6. We have 15 points on the line for him, and it's looking good that he is holding them or holding to them. So looking good for Peck at the moment. Massa, however, in the lead ahead of Gwen and Cole Jr. And then we have Afi and Kappa. Matt has fallen behind. But yeah, let's go with Peck's POV because he's dropped a little bit behind to P7 here. And let's see who is passing the speed check. Looking good for Peck. Yes, indeed. Everyone has survived it here in the top 8. And yeah, only Aurel has dropped a little bit behind, but still only 0.3 of a second between him and the top 8 player, who is not Papu anymore because he has made a small error. And also Massa has dropped a little bit behind. So Massa dropping to P13 here has come into touch there, or misaligned or misjudged his line there. So Massa down to P13. And this means if Massa would stay here, he would lose, yes, 20 points. So Massa 0.8 away from a safe spot and 5 positions. He has to overtake 5 more people. Look at that. Evon, Aurel, Spam, Brennan, then also Riolo, because he has to claim that 8th position. So this will be a hard task for Massa. But he can make that happen. He's one of the fastest players here. But of course, if you're risking it more. But look at that. Gwen has not made this speed check here. And now Gwen is fully fallen apart. So you have to jump here from the left to the right. And Gwen has not made that. And is now down to P15. 10 seconds behind. And he is about to lose 16 points. This is not looking good for him. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So Gwen on his way of losing 16 points. This is unfortunate stuff for him. Oh, and we can also see Riolo dropping out of the top 8. And also, who was that? I think it was... Yeah, it was Bren dropping behind. Not making the speed check very well. Maybe he has clipped it. So Bren 2 seconds behind here from that safe spot. Also Scrappy not with the best transition here. But let's follow the fight here for that first position. It is Carl Jr., Afi, Papu, Kappa and Peck in the top 5. And then we have Twin behind. So let's see who will be the leader of the race here for that first position. Look at that, 1 second between the top 8 here. What a close fight between all the players here. Peck still in this battle for that top 6. Then we have Spam and Riolu falling a little bit behind. And, yeah, look at this here. Unfortunately, I can't see Evon here, who's seemingly in this battle. And also Kappa making a mistake. Oh, no. So Kappa gets overtaken here by Rioldo and Spam, but still is on that 8th position here. And then we have Aurel on 9th. So let's follow Massa here. Can Massa make something happen? He's 0.5 away of a safe spot, but making a mistake. Just when I've spectated him, he has made that mistake. Can he make that speed check? Yes, he can, but only so slightly here. So Massa, another back leash for him. This is not good. Now 2 seconds behind Kappa, who's occupying P8. But yeah, I want to focus on that top 5 fight here. It is Afi now in the lead ahead of Papu, and then we have Carl Jr., Tween, and Peck in the top 5. Carl Jr. with a no-slide technique, so you can see how fast this is. What a close fight. What a close fight. Afi still holding strong. He's really pushing it. Who has the fastest lap though? It is Papu, and Papu seems to push it now. We have 2 more laps after this identity that players have to do. And it seems that Tween's identity is very good, as well as Carl Jr.'s. Peck has dropped a little bit behind, but still only 1 second behind Papu, who's the leader of this race. So if you remember, it was Spam winning this map here over Scrappy with 100th of a second, and we are witnessing a close fight like that again. As we see Papu now being in the lead, but Afi's 3rd section was just on point. And look at that, he's coming a little bit closer here, 0.3. He used to be away. Let's see how far away he is now. Only 0.2, so Afi is pushing it here for that first place. We have 2 more identities to pass, and Afi is really pushing it, 0.1 of a second. What a line by the BDS player here. Really greatly done, and what a fight here for the first position. Papu has a little bit more speed here to work with, but Afi lands a little bit smoother, so it is dead even between them. Only 0.05 of a second between them. And on the meantime, we see Peck dropping down to P6 here. Maybe he has not gotten a smooth transition, but I really want to focus here on this battle here for that first place. But also Aurel is only 0.08 away here of Evon, who I unfortunately can't see, guys. Oh no. This is unfortunate stuff, so I will focus on this battle here for that first position, because I just can't see Evon. You can see it here. Maybe watch a different stream from that. It is 100th of a second between both of them, so I can't see Evon. But it seems that Riolo has actually dropped behind here, and now Kappa is up into the lead, or into the 8th position. But yeah, let's see. What are Papu and Afi doing here? Who is taking that map victory? Who is taking it? Papu again with a better section here. Afi is pushing it. Afi is pushing it yet again. And now we have the last part coming up. The 3rd section will come now. And it looked like Afi is better on that, despite Papu being one of the 3rd prodigies. But now Afi didn't get a smooth transition. But now Tween has fallen behind. And now it's Kappa up to P8. So maybe we should check out what Riolo is doing here, as he is on that 9th position. He only 1 point on stake, but he could make some damage here to Kappa or to Spam, who has dropped behind. So Spam is now actually not down to P8 because Evon is a little bit further behind. But guys, I'm sorry, but I can only see this DNF. It's super bugging me, but it is Spam on P8. And yeah, also, oh no, Riolo dropping behind here. And Riolo has made a mistake, but I can't see Evon. Will it be close or not? I can say that it is Papu winning it over Afi here. Carl Jr., Peck, Kappa, Aurel, Evon, Spam. And then we have Riolo losing 1 point here. So I'm sorry, guys, but I couldn't see Evon there. But Evon has secured his points there. Hopefully this will be better. And I should have just focused here on that battle here for that first position. Yeah, indeed. Sick race by Avon. He was super far behind and has not lost points on this round here. And also Pack went home with 10 points. And Massa, yes. Massa is the biggest loser, or the big loser here of this one here. And has lost 20 points. But now the next step is starting, guys. Or the next phase, rather. It is the final map phase. And we have a break just now. So 6 minutes of a break. So let's watch the warm-up here. And this is getting spicy. It is Hoverboard. And I'm gonna show you guys this identity. I tried to explain it, but it's super hard to explain. This is no steer. Then you have a reactor boost block. And on the other side, a reset block, if I recall that one correctly. And then this is freewheel. And then, guys, you have to stay on this, hoverboard, kind of. And stay on it. And glide over it, because it's a reactor boost up. On the other version, you could have jumped to the right here, which is the safe way if you made a mistake beforehand. You can see you can just go to the right here. And then this is a slow-mo block here. But on the other version, you could have just jumped to the right and just zoom into the finish line here. But this identity will be super hard to do. So cheer for your favorite player, of course. Go for Pack, as Pack has still one heart, which is really cool. And is right now up into the leaderboard at P2. So my second and third bet are right, and Carl Jr. is on P4. And I think he has put most of his practice into those tracks. So my bets are not that bad right now. They are not bad. So this is the identity here. As you can see, Massa is failing it. So this is no steer. Then you have a reset block there with a reactor boost up. Then you have to jump over it here with a freewheel attached. So a lot of players are making breaks here. So now we can see what techniques have come, or what one techniques players have came up with, or something like that. Everything can happen here. I've only seen that the other part was changed. Maybe some of you can give me a brief explanation what has been changed there in this identity. So Matt is only 2 points for him, and then Riolo with 6 points. But I will take a little bit of a breather here. It is always better to do a cast, but I just have to take a little bit of a breather here because I'm talking all of the time, right? Ah, okay, I see. They were just a little bit thinner. I see. So, yeah, definitely harder then, because it's so hard to aim with the freewheel. But yeah, those being 2 bars is definitely hard. Then we could have also seen it was Granadi who did a wallbang on this section here, because they banned this wallbang with some pulls, but he just did a wallbang here. And yeah, that was a very smart move. I think there was a fragile block somewhere here as well, right? If I recall that one correctly. There was some sort of fragile here, where you jump and you got fragile there. I'm not sure about that. Let's see what Peck is doing. Peck right now occupying that second position. And also Papu, 44 points for him. If he is going home with those points, it is safe to say that he is a member of the playoffs. That is such a great performance by him. Let's see the league ranking if the points would stay like that. It is Peck would move up to P4, but it's super close here. As you can see, Evon has gotten a good step, and Massa as well. And yeah, the only player who really dropped behind is Matt, and then also Tween and Riolo not doing too well. Ren, Yannick's, Aurel, okay. Aurel has gotten a good step this time around. So I'm keen to see how the lower players will perform here. Not sure who had WR here. I only know that Peck has gotten a fast time on this one. And Massa and Peck. I think Peck was really fast here. But this identity can be really hard. So 25 more seconds. Take your guess. Who's gonna win this track? I think Carl Jr. will win it. That's my side bet. And then I'm gonna go with Peck in second position. And Tween. Nah, actually Matt in third. Okay, I thought, yeah, okay. But that's a pretty good time here by Peck as well. I think Matt will actually get third position here on this track. But we are starting now with the fifth map here called Hoverboard. And let's go. Let's go here with Peck. See how he will perform. Oh, Massa making a mistake already. Massa 2 seconds behind and he's scrambling here. This is not good for the Berlin International Gaming player. This is not good, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Massa making mistakes so early on and risking it too much. This is not good for him. And then we also have Matt here on P15, and Evon still gets displayed as DNF for me, and I can't spectate it. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not sure what happened there. I'm gonna report that one, and hopefully it gets changed to the next step. So this is a reactive boost up grass wall ride, so something really interesting. And yeah, let's go with Riolo for that first identity here, as we have a long dirt section here with a transition into a drift where you have to cancel it in order to not get a no slide. So Riolo does it really good, as well as all the other players who are ahead of him. This part was fragile beforehand, and now we have the first identity. Who's gonna pass it? It is really important that you get it. Riolo jumping super far to the right. Oh, and failing it, as well as Carl Jr. Carl Jr. falling super far behind. And then we have Peck and Gwen surviving it here, and then Spam on P3. But look at that. How many players have failed it? Look at this. 13, 14, 15, and 16 occupied by Papu. 44 points on stake. Tween, Riolo, and then Carl Jr. also 30 points on stake for him. Wow, what has happened there? So 4 mistakes on this first identity. This is definitely not an easy one. And also Riolo, I've seen it from his approach. It was way too far to the right, so he should have had a steer to the left beforehand. But yeah, it is always easier to say it from a caster point of view. Okay. So the top 8 right now is battling it out here and going closer to that first identity. So let's see who will survive that, who will push it the most. Right now it is Bren, Peck, and Gwen in the top 3. So Gwen with a very good performance here. And let's see who will survive that. Who will make mistakes and who will get it good. Kappa jumping a little bit far to the right, but everyone seems to survive it. Yes, indeed, everyone of the top 8 has survived it. Only Afi has made a mistake here, but has not dropped majorly behind. Only, wait, now Afi is DNF for me as well. Wait, what? What is happening, guys? Why is Afi DNF for me as well? I thought he has not made a huge mistake, but he definitely has, as it seems. He's right now down to P16. Maybe someone can tell me where Afi is. but he is down there. Also, Riolu dropping a little bit further behind. So we see 7 seconds here between 10th and 9th position. And now Massa is up in that battle here for that 8th position. So we can clearly see it here. Who has not made a mistake has definitely a shot of making it into the top 8. But it's really distracting me that Evon and Afi are DNF'd. So Carl Jr. 14 seconds behind, but we still have plenty of identities to pass here. Let's follow Peck here for the 3rd identity. Alright, alright. Oh, Peck jumping too far to the right. Can he save it? Oh no, Peck has to respawn. And he jumped too far to the right. This is not good. And thus Peck making it now and still is on the safe spot. But now Papu is only 0.9 away here. Oh no, oh no. So just a small steer can decide it here. But Peck is still on the green position here. But now Papu is super far. Or like has gotten super far in front of him. Or like next to him. Because only 0.9 of a second between him and Peck. The thing is, you don't want to hit the sign, because if you hit this sign, your car will just flip, because it will bounce you up in an uneven way. That's what you have to avoid. But we will definitely see mistakes here again, as we see Scrappy also 6 seconds behind, and then we have the fight here for that top 5 between Kappa, Spam, Aurel, Bren, and Gren. So they have all somewhat survived or just saved it there. So really, really hard identity here. Okay. Now Spam with a slowdown or with a slow landing again. So he's going for that safe way actually. Smart decision by Spam here. And therefore Aurel and Kappa will overtake him. Gren and Bren have survived this identity. And also Peck has survived it. Indeed. Spam dropping down to P7. And then we have Papu only 0.5 behind Peck here. So this is between him. This is between losing 40 points or 44 points. This is really important here for Peck, keeping those points. And he's definitely getting pressurized here by the Gamers Origin player here. So this is a really, really close fight, as we see Peck going for a more up approach. So he has more speed on this ice to work with. But also your car will tilt a little bit more. And Peck almost clipping the outside of the bobsleigh there. But fortunately he didn't do it. So... But it is Papu coming closer and closer. Goes really for the attack, but didn't get a lot of speed in this section. Peck has again a little bit of room to breathe. 0.3 of a second. But what a section here from Papu indeed. And Gren and Bren are currently fighting it out here for that first position. Let's follow them here for the first identity. Hopefully he will survive it. Bren jumping super far to the right. Oh, Bren is surviving it. No. Bren with a dead respawn. And Bren is dead. No way. And Scrappy survives it. Spam with a mistake. And therefore Peck will go home, or will go over into that 6th position here. And now look at this fight here. All of a sudden it is Spam down to P10. But what a battle are we witnessing here? It is 0.2 of a second between Bren, Spam, and Tween. And Papu is now in the green again. What a close fight. What a close fight this is. And then we also have Evon. I'm not sure how far behind he is. But he is also in that 11th position. Spam 0.6 behind here. But look at that. Look at this close fight here. 2 spots are distributed to the players, and we have one more lap. This is the last identity. Consider that, guys. And Gwen is 2 seconds ahead, so he is safe to win it here. But now we are going to that fight. 0.17 between Bren and Tween here. Peck is a little bit further ahead. 0.7 of a second, battling out here with Papu, but Tween can lose it here, and Spam and Bren are pushing it. They have nothing to lose. It's do or die for all of the players. Spam has 34 points on stake, and he could secure him here, or he could take it. Last identity. Spam is overtaking Bren here in this section, and Tween is more than 0.4 ahead. But let's see, one more identity. Spam with a good identity here. No one is failing it, and Tween will indeed take the 8 points with him, and Spam will lose 34 points, as well as Evon 24 points of a loss. 21 points of a loss for him, and Peck and Papu will secure their points. Unlucky for him, but Spam's section before this identity just didn't look too fast. So Gren wins it over Rel. Then we have Massa in P3, Kappa in 4th position, Scrappy, Papu, and Peck occupying P5, 6, and 7. And then we have Tween getting himself some points as well. Afi not finishing, Matt not finishing, so Afi was DNF'd as well. And now the standings look like that. Papu still in 1st and Peck in 2nd with 47 points. What a great performance. Yeah, Crisau, of course. This was a battle I could focus on, but it was way more interesting to see if someone will fail this identity, you know? Okay, now we're gonna go to the last map. It is a more tech-heavy map, so that's why I put Spam in my bet. But now he's down to 5 points. He's down to 5 points, and this is definitely not a good one for him. So Spam losing points, and this map is called Starglide. It has some interesting transitions, I would describe them as. You will see why. And then you have an ice block up, like ice block transition. No, this is the identity. But you have some ice block where you have to slide on and perform a 180-degree turn, jump through a reactor boost, and somehow have to hold it together. So this will be a hard one. But I see Peck winning the last 2 major events. The Centauri Solo Tech Edition and also the From Zero to Hero. That he will perform good on this map here because it is more tech heavy. And Peck is definitely the best tech player out there. So last map, it's still the final phase. So players can lose their points. And players are currently warming up. And I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay, so this is the identity. You can see they have to perform this 180 and then accelerate in the right moment again. Times 3. So they have to do it a total of 18 times. And it can be pretty tricky. Because the smallest misalignment here can just put you out. And yeah, good luck to the players. This is the last map. It is Starglide by Link. Again, a map by Link. And good luck to the players. So we see Papu, Peck, Gwen, Aurel, Massa, and Kappa all with 30 plus points. So this is a tremendous amount of points that players can lose. And we can also see Scrappy with 25 points and also Tween with 14 points, who has gotten himself P8 on the last map. So a lot of points can be lost here, but also gains, as we see Aurel. Wait, what? So it seems that Aurel and Yannick's again with a disconnect here. Or Yannick's making a mistake. I'm not sure about that. But Aurel is standing still here. And this is not good for him. And also Evon, again, DNF. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what is happening here. And yeah, we will actually skip this round. And gonna go for a pause. Okay. So we have a pause now. The match or the map will be restarted. I was scared a bit for a moment. Actually like this replay mode. Look at that. It's really cool. So we have a pause. And now it is live. Let's see when they will pass the first CP, if everything is fine. Aurel seems to drive. That is good. And also the other players. As we see Evan still being DNF'd for us. But hopefully it will not impact the cast too much. Okay, so Pack with a good start. But look at that. Scrappy, Spam, Grand Papu, Bren are ahead of him. But Brent didn't get the best section here. Okay. So Scrappy with a good start. But what a battle here for the top 3 in this part here. Scrappy really pushing it here, goes over the grass, and therefore loses a lot of speed. Now this part is really decisive because you're on freewheel and you need to perform a slide there and really have to guess how much speed you have to transfer. Okay, so every player seems to survive this identity here. Afi not doing it too well, and Afi will indeed drop a little bit behind. Goes for a very direct approach here. But then we also have Aurel, who is 1 second behind. So yeah, Pack is of course in top 2 right now. And Matt not looking good here on this step. 0 points for him. But yeah, indeed, this lap is really hard to do. And we can see not only Riolu dropping super far behind, 6 seconds already. So he has made an error. This is not good for him, because he has not really gotten himself a lot of points in this step so far. And not really feeling the step too much. But look at this fight here for the top point. 15 between the top 5. And also Peck is in there. Peck, Papu, Massa. And then we have Gwen as well. The wonder child here, the 16-year-old. So this is really looking very like a close battle. But Scrappy on the other hand, dropping a little bit behind. But we can see how close it is. 0.5 between 1st and 11th position. What a close fight. So let's follow Gwen here, the Kameto core player. Approaching this identity. Scrappy did it really well here. And Gwen, Gwen has lost a little bit of speed, but still worked out for him. And Bren is dead. Bren is dead and won't have a saying here on that second round. Or in that second lap, rather. And is now on P15. And also Aurel and Afi have dropped a little bit behind. You can see Aurel could lose 38 points, and then also Scrappy is now in the red. Following Spam right now, the Alliance player is chasing the Lazarus player is chasing the Alliance player, and that's what I wanted to say. Okay. So Carl Jr. losing points again and is now up to 3 points, so he has nothing to lose. He can risk it here, but of course he wants to go home with some points. In the meantime, Evon and Papu have overtaken Carl Jr. here, but what a close battle that is, as you can see here from the CPs, or from the life ranking rather. This Evon holding strong that 4th position after losing his points on map number 5. Oh, okay. I thought for a minute that Papu has lost it there, but Papu with good identities here. And he's at 52 points. Papu with such a good performance here. And it is looking really well for him that he can qualify himself for the actual playoff phase already. The Pack is right now ahead of him. Evon has dropped a little bit behind, and then we have Kappa and Spam occupying P7 and 8. Yannick's and Scrappy a little bit further behind, but only less than half a second. So still everything can happen here going into the 4th lap. So we have 3 more laps here to go. 3 more identities that the players have to pass. And right now it's looking like Scrappy will lose 25 points. Because the gap is extending here between him and Kappa. So this is definitely not what the Lazarus player was looking for. But he is of course a very risky driver. But who's also a risky driver is Gwen and also Massa, who are right now in 1st and 2nd position. And then we have Pack in 3rd, Papu in 4th. And we can see Spam dropping down to P8. And Kappa has really capitalized from that. Oh, but just when I say that, Kappa is not the best turn there. And I think Gwen has done a respawn, didn't he? No, never mind. Oh, I thought for him because his name tag was gone away. Or was going away. But that was not the case. So everyone seems to survive this identity here from that top 8. And Pack still on that 3rd position. Really close fight here between him and Gwen and Massa, so he didn't really lose too much of grip towards them throughout this identity, and we still have 2 more laps to go. So if Pack holds this position here, it is safe to say that he gets himself a solid placement, and this will put him closer and closer towards that playoff phase. So Massa in the lead ahead of Gwen. Pack in P3. Let's take a look. Who is down here? Arel is dead and about to lose 38 points. And then we have Yannex and Tween as well. Tween, the lucky player who has gotten himself 8th position, is about to lose 14 points. But still a close fight here for that 8th place battle. As you can see, 0.4, 0.6, 0.5 between them and Kappa. And then we also have Spam. So let's follow Tween here, who's occupying P11 and can make something happen. And Yannick's dropping a little bit behind. So this identity is very important. Tween is risking it super much and loses a lot of speed. So Tween has lost his grip. And also Scrappy, not with the best identity here. And yeah, now it is Spam on P8. So a lot of players have actually made a mistake there. And now we have the last lap. It is Pack versus Massa here for that first place battle. It is Grand falling behind. So let's see who will win this step. Will it be Pack? If Pack will go home with that first position. Pack is winning the step here and he is pushing it. Massa not with a good section here. Pack with more speed in this section. It is neck and neck between the Berlin International Gaming player and Pack, the MnM player, and Pack is actually going onto the lead. Then we have Massa in second, but what a close fight here. What a close fight between both of them. Pack is jumping super close to the right there. And actually Papu has dropped to P12, so Pack will win this step if he will stay here. Papu will actually drop behind and is super far behind. So let's focus on this battle for that first position here. Massa versus Pack in this last identity here. Massa with a lot of speed and goes over into the lead. Then we have Pack risking it as well here. Good speed for him. The last part will decide it who will take the victory here. It is Pack with more speed and Pack will indeed win map 6 on that second step. Pack will go home with 20 points and wins the second step here. GG. Massa in second, Gwen in third. Then we have Carl Jr. in fourth position and Papu will lose 52 points. What a rip for him. 52 points down the toilet for Papu, and Pack will go home with 67 points. 67 points for Pack. What a great performance. And what a great fight here between Pack and Massa in the ending. Whew. What a step. Pack wins it here over Gwen, and then we have Massa in P3. So Massa eventually gets himself a lot of points. But look at that. So many points in this step. Look at that. It was only, yeah, Bren, unfortunately. Aurel, I mean. And then also, wait, what? Okay, I thought for a minute that Papu was taking his points. But it was not the case. I was looking through the league ranking. But Papu was on P9. So yeah, Pack wins it here. So that's the ranking here. I was a bit confused. I'm sorry, but still a lot of people have hold their points. 40 plus points for Kappa, Massa, Gwen, and Pack. So Kappa, I've not really seen too much for him, but still a very solid performance. And then we have Evon P5, Carl Jr. P6, Spam 7th position, and Yannick's on P8. And unfortunately, those people here have lost their points. So Papu is the great loser of this step, unfortunately, but still a great performance though. And then we have also Aurel losing a considerable amount of points. Yeah, indeed. Consider that. Massa has lost 20 points. Wow, what a step, guys. Whew, I think no one got this bet right. Or did someone bet Massa in the top 3? I'm not sure about that. So those are the standings here. And with that, Pack is skyrocketing to P2. Spam dropped down to P3, but still 70 points for him. But you can see it is still pretty close here between all of the players here. Papu still remains in that lead despite that point loss. Yeah, but what a good step here from Pack. 67 points, good performance. Yeah, so this concludes the cast here of the Trackmania Grand League. The second step. Hopefully you liked it. It was alone. Was very spontaneously that it was alone, so I didn't really have too many information about the players going into the cast, but hopefully you liked it despite that. Glad that Pack has won it here. Everyone was betting him being on P2, but eventually he was going to the first position. Yeah, indeed. Aurel losing a lot of points, indeed. Aurel was also the loser of this step. Okay. So, that concludes the cast. Thanks all for watching. Next week will be with Eric again. And now I will go offline. And thanks all for watching. Just nice to see Peck winning it here. Yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna go and goodbye, guys.